Hey guys, Aleksa, the climbing dietitian here, sports dietitian and nutrition coach. So today's video, what we're going to talk about is 5 different things that you should be considering if you're on a fat loss plan but struggling with hunger, appetite control, and cravings, okay? That's something that's a limiting factor for so many people is how do they actually control their hunger levels when they're on a diet where they're cutting calories, okay? So you're cutting calories, you're feeling hungrier, you're struggling to keep that lower intake of food going, especially because you're used to, eating more long term. So how do you control this? I've got 5 tips to give you guys today to get you started on controlling this limiting factor and improving your success of your nutrition plan. So let's get into it. When it comes to weight loss, there's one key factor that people tend to not really think about too much, but is a very important factor to success, and that's your appetite and craving control. So now let's get into the 5 different things that you should be considering and maybe not considering when it comes to weight loss and what you should start implementing in your nutrition plan today. So number 1 is protein, okay? A lot of people are not eating enough protein. They might be thinking they are, but they're not. Really, the protein intake should be higher than what most people are doing. 1.6 grams per kilogram of lean body weight is something where I would put people on as a ballpark figure if I were to just kind of give a recommendation, because that suits most people and it gives you enough protein to not only for requirements, but also for the satiating effect, which is what we're going to touch upon now. Protein can be quite a satiating component of your diet. That's why macros are very good for this, is when you can actually give yourself the correct amount of protein. And that's why I want you guys to think about how much protein are you actually having. Look at your meals, audit your diet. Are you maybe skipping out on a protein food at breakfast or lunch or dinner? Or are you eating protein well? Think about this, because protein can be a big factor when it comes to appetite. And if you have enough protein, that tends to be a really good, effective way of not only controlling your cravings, but controlling the amount of food your body's desiring, even when you're trying to cut calories to achieve the weight loss you want. Number 2 is water. Okay, this is something maybe you guys have thought about, but maybe not to the extent of, is it going to help me with my hunger? So when it comes to hunger, a lot of times dehydration can actually mask it and make it seem like you are hungry when you're actually just dehydrated. But also, water can be a really good way to just suppress your appetite, especially around meal times. So, before a meal, drink a big glass of water and see what difference it makes. The research even supports this. Now, I'm not saying go bombard yourself with water, overhydrate, but just a lot of people aren't really drinking enough water, enough fluid. So this is a good excuse to not only up your hydration, but also has the added benefits of helping with appetite suppression and craving control. So it's something to consider is upping that water intake. If you're only consuming about 1 liter or so, let's say, maybe up it to 2 liters. 2 liters is a good kind of ballpark figure for most people. To target to not only get hydration, but also that satiating effect. It's not so much satiating, but that sensation of fullness that can help curb that hunger that kind of creeps in, especially when you're on a weight loss diet where your calories are being cut. Now, the 3rd thing is sleep. People don't consider sleep when it comes to nutrition, but it's such an important factor. When you're sleep deprived, your hormone balance is out of whack. And your ghrelin, or your hunger hormone, or the hormone that makes you feel hungry, actually goes up. So when that happens, you crave more during the day. Okay, so your serotonin levels drop because you're lacking sleep, and your body's craving those quick and easy kind of carbohydrate kind of foods, and your cravings go up as a result of the ghrelin. Now this makes it hard for you to control cravings, and it might make you actually have a higher appetite than you actually need. And this is especially important, again, like I said, if you're on a weight loss diet, when you're cutting your calories and not eating as much as you usually would. Now you're not only dealing with the fact you're eating less and might be hungrier because of that. Now you've got this sleep deprivation causing this elevated appetite, and that can kind of work against you. And of course, you can push through it and that, but at the end of the day, it's not fun, and you're only going to sustain the diet in the short term if you're not actually controlling appetite. So get some good sleep. If you're finding you're struggling with sleep, talk to your doctor. Get a sleep study done or something just to help with your sleep. Maybe get into a routine, whatever helps you. But really, sleep's so important for health, and people tend to forget about it. So yeah, get some sleep, guys. And the 4th one is something I really like to recommend with my clients when they work with me, is changing your environment, okay? So let's say you're in the pantry, you've got a whole bunch of chocolate, and you know that chocolate is your weakness. Well, okay, as you work on that habit and as you work on that relationship with that food, you also want to make it easier on yourself. Because motivation drives don't get you so far. Sometimes it's also about changing the environment to make it easier for yourself to make that change. So something I like to recommend is change the environment around you. Instead of buying a whole pack of chocolates, maybe give yourself, on shopping day, buy yourself one bar of chocolate, for example, and then therefore, you can actually be more strategic and smart in terms of when you have it, or even if you do have it, that the chocolate's gone, the temptation's gone, you've given yourself the rule that you can only get your chocolate every time you go to shops, so now you have got to wait till your next shopping trip. Chocolate's obviously used as an example here because it's a popular one, but any food really that you're finding is really kickstarting those cravings and making it hard for you to control yourself. Think about how you can change the environment around that. Or if it's something like family members or people you live with that are buying these things, talk to them about maybe not making it so obvious where it is, or talk to them about how they can kind of support your goals there as well, so that you can kind of find like a balance between both of you where it can work and be more conducive to your weight loss goals. So yeah, environmental change is so important, and something I love to do with my clients is recommending not only specific changes, but how can you actually change the environment in which you live that is actually influence your cravings and your appetite, and therefore influencing the potential fat loss results you can get. Now the fifth one is more of like a mindset thing, okay? So don't impulse eat is what I'm trying to say. Really what I'm trying to get here is the fifth thing you want to be doing is giving yourself self-reflection, that inner dialogue and that thought process before you actually succumb and eat like a craving food or a food that you feel is maybe just a bit extra in your need. Maybe you want to go for seconds, is really stop, think, and just go, am I actually hungry? What are my goals? And if I actually eat this food, this extra bit of food, is that going to get me to my goals or further away from my goals? And just do that dialogue, the inner dialogue, that self-reflection. And then at the end of that, whatever you decide, you don't feel guilty on, okay, that's the decision you've made, but at least you've given yourself that time to think, that time to reflect, and that time to actually make a decision based on all the circumstances, rather than impulsively going for the food. Okay, you don't want to go straight for the food. You don't want the food to be in control of you. You want to be in control of the food. So you actually want to make sure that when you actually crave these foods, or when you want that extra bit of food, or when you feel like you're actually hungry, but you feel maybe you shouldn't eat that much more, really thinking about, is this really what I want to do? Is this what my body wants? Or am I just, impulsively going for the food due to habits? So give yourself time, even if it's 10 minutes. I always like to say, to my clients, give yourself, drink a glass of water. If you're still feeling hungry, give yourself 10, 15 minutes. Go do an activity, go do something that occupies your mind. And then after that, if you are still generally still hungry, okay, maybe you can go for a bit more food, maybe like a high protein food. Maybe go for seconds, but just for the chicken or something like that. Or maybe go for something like a high fiber food, such as fruit or something like that. But yeah, give yourself that time between wanting the food and actually having it. If you feel it's a craving related thing, or you feel like you're going to be going overboard on your calories, or if you're actually tracking, you'll know if you're going to go overboard on your calories, because that time that you allow yourself to actually think, and that decision making that you do, and that self-reflection is not only an important skill to develop as you go forward, but it's actually a very effective way to actually calibrate your mind around your food and develop a healthier relationship. So that you're not actually saying, I can't have this, and depriving yourself, or, let's have this, and giving in all the time. You're giving yourself that time, give yourself that ability to actually make the decision based on the circumstances and based on what you really want. So that could be something that's really effective, and I know that goes a bit more deep in terms of a specific food recommendation, but it's something that I like to work with my clients with, because at the end of the day, it's not just about me saying, eat this, eat that, or don't eat that. It's about actually changing your mindset, because mindset's such a big thing when it comes to cravings and appetite control in a lot of instances. So yeah. So I hope that's helped you guys. That's my 5 key things that I feel a lot of people are missing out on and not considering when it comes to a fat loss diet. That's actually, when they're actually struggling with appetite control, or struggling with cravings, or just feeling hungry when on a energy, calorie, whatever you call it, deficit diet. When you're eating less than you normally used to, because you need to obviously achieve that calorie deficit to achieve the fat loss. So hopefully these 5 things have actually kind of helped you kind of understand what you can start implementing in your nutrition plan now. And I do recommend you actually start today, okay? Take one of these things and start. You don't have to start with all 5, but give yourself one to start with and get the ball rolling, so to speak, and see how you go, okay? And message me if you find that it helps you, and if you don't find it doesn't help you, you're still struggling, message me as well. I want to be able to help and have a chat with you and see what's going on. But yeah, hopefully that's helped you guys. Hopefully it's brought you some value, And again, as always, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below or send me a message on my socials. In the link is in the description below. And yeah, until next time, guys, thank you.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. So what I want to say is a little message of, if you're looking to get to your peak potential or achieve the peak physique you desire, just get the body you feel healthy, happy, and confident in, I can help you get there. So using a flexible macro approach, I've helped a number of clients get to where they need to be. So if this is something that's of interest to you, apply now for my coaching program via the link in the description below. I only work with action takers, people that are ready to make not only a physical but financial investment in themselves to get them to where they want to be. So if this is you and you feel you're the right fit, apply now. And then if you are successful, we'll get in contact and go from there. Thanks, guys.